Welcome to another edition of Vintage Drum Restoration Garage. Today we're taking a slight departure from drums and we're going to turn it into Vintage Gun Restoration Garage. Only because I'm dealing with a antique rifle. It's a Stevens favorite, model 1915. And nowhere on YouTube is there a video on how to take this falling block mechanism out and actually put it in and make it work. Oh, there's a bunch of videos up there, but none of them make any sense, and none of them show you the actual way to put this falling block mechanism back in with the extractor in working order. There's a guy up there who shows you how to restore all the wood and all the metal, and he quickly puts it all together and says, okay, we're done. So I'm no gunsmith, believe me. This is not something I normally do, but I'm getting more into it lately because I refuse to pay anyone to do my own work. And I've had pretty good luck doing it, thanks to guys like Mark Novak. He's got a great channel on YouTube. Another guy is the Cumberland Outdoorsman. He's another guy who takes his time and shows you how to do things, how to do your own gunsmithing. So I'm just going to do this video on, first of all, how not to do it, and then how to do it. So the way I was doing it is, when I took this gun apart, this gun comes apart. The barrel is removable. So what I did was I took the whole thing apart. You'll notice I've got the trigger and the hammer out of the receiver here, and the mainspring. I've got everything out of here, but that's not what we're dealing with today. We're dealing with this how to install the, I don't have any of this tight, so I'm just going to take everything out and show you what I was doing and what wasn't working. Even on the firearm forums, they were not really getting to the point. So I'm going to decock it and just take this apart real quick. Show you what I was doing. This is a week in process, a complete waste of a week, each time going back and forth trying to get this thing to work. And I finally figured it out. A friend of mine came over here yesterday and said, hey, check this out. Here's the extractor here. Got a little bit too much oil on it. Don't need that much oil, but I do have some on it. And he said, hey, did you notice that this part here is actually on a spring? Which I think I didn't notice. So I put it in parts, a chem dip. I put this part in the chem dip and cleaned everything out, and then blew it out with air and put some Hoppy's lubricating oil on it. And so I've got that working right, but that really wasn't the problem. What I was doing was I was putting the falling block screw in. I'll just do it the way I was doing it and getting nowhere. So maybe you guys are doing this too. And then I'd get the extractor and I'd put it in here. And I'd line everything up. Let me get this lined up real quick. Okay, so what I did was I've got this pin in here just to get everything lined up so I can get the screw in there. And anytime you have to force something, you're doing something wrong, so don't ever force anything. So I'm going to put the screw in here and show you what it was doing or not doing. Line it up again here. You can see the screws on an angle, so that isn't working. Okay, so you see I've got that bottom screw in there, and the lever's not able to go up all the way. Of course, don't force it. And I was just looking at this thing and going, what in the hell is going on? So I was on this forum, and the guy said, well, what you do is you hold it open and you push your ejector backwards until it snaps. Well, I did that. I'm not going to sit here and do that because actually that didn't work either. So I took this thing apart every which way, and I even took the pins out of here and switched some parts around. You know, there's another. I took everything apart, and there's another. I took these two pins apart. I took this link apart, turned it over. No, that's not it. By the way, the firing pin's it's broken. I've got to fix that too. So my buddy came over and showed me that this thing has that spring in it here. So what I did was I thought, well, let's put this thing on here, turn it over, and screw into the receiver so we can see what's going on here. And this is just for demonstration. It didn't really make it work, but I could see how this thing worked then. Just get this lined up. Then you could at least see how this extractor worked. So I think when the lever, this part, this springed part, this plunger, as it were, gives the lever some snap. So you're going to this will push. You can push this thing back here, and then the whole ejector moves backwards and gives the handle snap. So I thought, well, okay. But what pushes the ejector back there? And I thought, you know what pushes it back there? You have to have the barrel in the gun, in the receiver. So I put the barrel back in the receiver, and lined it up. I think this gun's like it's over 100 years old. Single shot 22. Okay, so then what I did was once I got that in there, I thought let's put the block in there. Oh, this thing came out of there. I'm going to have to found these pins in there, right? But just one second. Okay, so we're going to put this back together here. Get our ejector. It has to go in this way, because you can see the round fits right in this little groove here. So that has to go. I've got the thing in backwards. Oh geez. Okay, so let's put this block back in here. Now the correct way to do this, from what I can see, is you don't want to put the top screw in first, because you'll need that as a guide to get the ejector in correctly. So get your ejector in here. We're going to put it in the bottom. You know, there's a few different models of this, so if you've got a different shaped ejector, that's not this model. Forgot what the other one was. This is the later model, 1915. So what I did was I lined this bottom screw up first. The two screws are different sizes. You can't mix them up. There's a small one and a larger one, diameter. So I put the bottom one in first, just lightly. I didn't tighten it. Then I got a punch and I lined this up here with the barrel in. And if you look closely, you can see right here, that's that plunger part. And that needs to be pushed this way in order to push the whole ejector in. And you've got to hold it. I'll show you. So I pushed it this way, and I just lined up everything pretty good. I just got my screw just ready, and then I grabbed the ejector and pulled it back right here. So the best way I figured out how to do this is you put the drop block in first, then you put the ejector in here. This plunger here faces forward. Get that all in there. And we're going to put this bottom screw in first. Line that up. There's the bottom screw. I didn't tighten it real good, just a little bit. Now you'll see in this hole, hopefully you can see, you'll see that plunger here, and I reach around the back side with this very small screwdriver. And I'm trying to depress that plunger. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see that, but I'm pushing on that plunger enough to where I can get this. Well, first, before I do that, I line this all up here, and I get the screw started. I don't push it in. I just hold it there. Then I reach around the back side, and I depress the plunger, and I get this screw slid up in here a little bit. Takes a little bit of doing here, but you're gonna. Seems like it's easier to do off camera. What I did was I put the barrel here in the vise with some wooden jaw protectors, and I was able to fish that screw in to where I could depress the spring like this and get the screw over the plunger. So once the plunger was depressed, I was able to slightly get the screw in. Once you can get that screw in and it's over the plunger, you'll notice that the screw is facing that way. You don't want to force it, but you've got to get this. I took my screwdriver here and I just turned it a little bit, and I just pushed on it gently, and I was able to get the screw to straighten out a little bit to where I can push it in. Now the screw went completely over the plunger. It's ready to thread into the screws. Thread in. The screw's all threaded in now. And voila. That should snap like that. You should hear a nice snap to where the lever just stays up. Listen to that beautiful snap. Now I've got a dead round 22. I'm just going to show you how that. I'm going to put it in the barrel, and I'm going to. Now I'm going to. You watch it; it'll fly out of there. So that's the way extractor works. I'll do that again for you. There it is. You can fire it, then you're ready for your next round because it's a single shot, and here it goes. It flew right out of there the way it's supposed to. So hopefully this video helps the next guy who's trying to fiddle with one of these Stevens model 1915 22 long rifle. Favorite model, and appreciate you visiting here with me here at the Vintage Drum Restoration Garage, and we'll catch you on the next one.